Hello, and welcome back to another episode of A Very Normal Podcast. I am Matt, and this is Harry.
I'm Harry.
He is Harry.
You know me from the first episode.
Oh yeah, you were in the first one, weren't you?
I was there, yeah.
Crazy. You did really well on that one.
Thank you.
Well, before we start with the podcast, I think we've just got to shout you guys out. For everyone that tuned in to the first episode, yeah, we got crazy amount of support for it.
We did. We honestly got so much more support than we actually expected.
Yeah, we didn't expect anyone to.
We kind of put this podcast out just for a bit of fun, and it's an excuse to just drink and have a chat, really.
Yeah.
But then loads of people were getting in contact, like actually really liking it.
Yeah, no, I got
like,
messages.
Oh, okay. We're gonna have to keep making them then.
What, we're contractually obliged now to make more podcasts?
We are, yes, yeah.
No, I was genuinely surprised when the amount of people that said it was a good podcast. They were really enjoying it, and
Me too. I think we did well.
yeah,
I think we did all right.
big up us.
Yeah.
We did good.
For the first episode.
So now on to the podcast. I think this episode we'll just be talking about 2023 in terms of we're talking about the mainstream world of 2023, but also we'll talk about a little bit about ourselves and just.
Because we know you're all so interested in us.
Yeah, well, I mean, they don't know much about us.
That's true.
So we give them little bits of us every now and then. Keep them interested.
Sprinkle it in.
Like Salt Bay.
Yeah. So outdated.
No, he's not. He's still around. All right, I think.
He runs that rubbish steak restaurant, doesn't he? The one that everyone goes there, pays like a ridiculous amount of money for a steak. He comes along, does his thing, and then they're just disappointed.
Does he actually cook the food, or is he just hide there to spread the salt?
I think he literally just does his thing, and he's like, cool.
So his job is just to spread the salt.
Probably. I've never been, but I've just seen videos and people saying they were really disappointed, and all that happens, he comes out, does his thing, and that's it.
Well, maybe that could be a video idea for us to do in the future.
You could visit his restaurant.
Visit Salt Bay's restaurant.
Let us know in the description on the form if you want us to visit the steak restaurant.
Yeah, or anything else. Let us know anything else you want to see, because maybe you don't want to see that.
Yeah, so there is
Just
a form
maybe.
in the description that if you want to give us any video ideas or tell us any funny stories you have, then that'd be great, because trawling through Reddit is sometimes quite boring.
Nah, there's some stuff on Reddit that is funny.
There is some funny
we
stuff.
can't read out.
Yeah, but if you submit the form, it's completely anonymous, and yeah, it'd be funny. So
Yeah.
So should we get on to 2023?
Yeah, let's go on 2023. 2023 in general, a mainstream point of view.
Yeah.
And I will read out to you, I think, my favourite bits of 2023.
Okay.
Because as a year, it was a bit random.
Yeah.
You had a lot of random small events happen throughout the year.
Yep.
But there wasn't anything, I suppose, big that I can think of.
Yeah. Well, I think, that there was a war. That's pretty big.
Yes, there was a war.
Oh, there still is a war.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
pretty
just more
big.
wars, really. That
sucks.
Yeah.
But that's not what we'll be talking about, because I forgot there was a war. So,
This is going to be a less depressing episode. You hear about the war on the news. You don't need to hear that from us.
exactly. We're not the news. We are just a very normal podcast.
It's just a normal podcast.
And what a very normal podcast is about is not wars, but about other things.
So kick us off.
Like in January, where's my phone? In January of this year,
Yep.
we started off with a banger.
Did we?
We did, because we had Prince Harry's book that released.
Prince Harry's book. Mm-hmm. Please do tell me about Prince Harry's book.
Well, it came out in January,
Yeah.
and I don't actually know what the purpose of the book was.
Money?
Why did he release it? It couldn't have been money, because some of the stuff he says in there, I don't think maybe he should have said. Well, I've got some quotes.
Okay, read them out.
Maybe you can judge how inspiring he is
Okay.
based on the quotes.
I'm looking forward to this.
So, we've got a little passage here, and this passage is a story about when he got frostbite when he went on holiday.
Right.
And he had recently just arrived back home for his brother's wedding. So, upon arriving home, I'd been horrified to discover that my nether regions were frost-nipped, as well as the ears and cheeks that were already healing. But the Todger wasn't. His downstairs was oscillating between extremely sensitive and borderline traumatized.
I'm not surprised. If I got frostbite down there, I'd be traumatized. That's horrible.
I don't think you could go on holiday again.
Why would you share that with the world?
But there's more. There's more to it.
It gets worse. Or
I'd been trying some home remedies, including one recommended by a friend. She urged me to apply Elizabeth Arden cream, and I said to my friend, "My mum used that on her lips."
oh no!
"You want me to put that on my Todger?" She replied with, "It works, Harry, trust me." What was the universe trying to say to me by depriving me of both my brother and my penis?
Those are not. That's not two words you should be putting in the same sentence.
So let's do what English teachers do best, and let's analyse the quote. What did he mean by the universe punishing him for both his brother and his penis? Is that...
I'm not sure I want to know. I mean, why would you share that information?
It's trying to be inspiring.
That's not inspired. I'm not inspired.
No?
No.
What does it do for you?
It makes me feel much better about myself.
Maybe that's
because now
the
I know I
aim.
don't have frostbite.
Yeah, so I don't know why he said this.
It's interesting.
Is it?
Very interesting. Maybe he was on drugs.
Well, he rubbed the cream on his Todger that his mum uses on her lips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the more he said, the worse it got.
But it's like he could have just stopped and maybe someone would have read past it.
Yeah.
But he says other things as well that made the book quite a read. Like another story.
Oh no.
Another quote, I guess, is he talks about how he lost his virginity.
What?
Yeah. So, so when disclosing an incident with his bodyguard, he said, "I suspected he was referring to my recent loss of virginity, a humiliating episode with an older woman who liked macho horses and who treated me like a young stallion.
Oh,
I mounted her quickly, after which she spanked my ass and sent me away.
No.
One of my many mistakes was letting it happen in a field just behind a very busy pub.
This is not real.
No doubt someone had seen us. This is 100% what is in the book."
Are you genuinely?
I'm genuinely being serious. So,
Oh my god! I must have missed all of this on social media. 'Cause
Really?
I remember hearing a couple things. I think I heard a couple quotes and thought, "Oh, that must be a joke." I didn't believe that this is an actual thing. I've never read the book, never really looked too much into it. Like, saw a couple quotes on social media, whatever. I didn't realise that he was actually putting this much information out there so publicly.
well, I hope he wrote the book himself, because I feel bad for the person that, if he didn't write the book, the person he hired to write the book for him.
Does he not have a PR team?
Maybe he got since leaving the royal family. He got sent.
This is what happens when you leave the royal family. You have no one to like filter what you say to the world. And
I don't understand why you think that's a good idea. Releasing
it's a terrible
a book like this.
idea.
Release and talking about this stuff.
Jesus.
I mean, it was a good read.
It makes me feel much better about myself now, knowing that I'm not putting that out there into the world.
Well, I suppose we lost our virginity in normal ways. So
Yeah, I mean, I
we
just
done better for that reason.
yeah, I mean,
The way he described it,
just it's the older woman thing, and it's just
I don't think that's the bad thing. I think the way he described how he lost his virginity makes it worse because he says, I mounted her a macho
yes,
horse
yes, exactly.
like I'm a young stallion. It's like,
that's what I'm getting to. Like, it's just the way he describes it is so strange.
like he's kind of into the horseplay.
Yeah.
So, yes, that's why January, I believe, started off with an absolute bang. Literally. A bang from a macho horse. And then March came. And I don't think it was talked about that much, but I remember it's lived in my head for a little bit.
Go on.
So I thought it was pretty funny.
Okay.
So there was a court case in March that involved Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah.
And I've titled it Gwyneth Paltrow Hits the Slopes.
Oh.
But basically, she faced legal action because over her role in an incident which was a 2016 skiing accident.
An accident from 2016?
Yes.
So an accident that occurred...
It occurred a while ago.
7 years prior.
Yeah. And this retired fellow called Terry Sanderson wanted to sue the star for $300,000.
Did it work?
Which, no, he lost because I'll tell you why. Because what happened is he was blaming her for the accident because he was skiing down the hill.
Yeah.
And he skied into Gwyneth Paltrow from behind.
So he skied into her, and now he tried to sue her
because he claimed she purposely got in the way of him while skiing down the slope, even though her back was to him, obviously, but she's skiing down the slope.
Yeah, how could you purposely go in front of... Why would you want someone to crash into you?
Exactly. Right. It's not like Gwyneth Paltrow had a vendetta against this retired old man.
She's like, that's bloody Terry.
That's Terry. He stole the last mince pie.
Bloody Terry.
Yeah. So apparently she intentionally blocked him down the scope and caused an accident.
Oh yes, because I want a middle-aged man to just crash into me when I'm enjoying my holiday.
And do you want to guess what happened?
Go on.
He lost the case, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Because,
tell me that.
Yes. How can you prove that she purposely did it?
Well, that. But also, what was he suing her for?
For the accident.
But like, did he get hurt then? And he's like claiming like medical.
I'm not actually sure. I guess it could be like trauma and.
I assume he got like some sort of medical bill and was like, I can't pay for this.
That's true, yeah.
I need some money. And was like, right, 7 years ago, that celebrity crashed into her. Maybe we can do something about that.
But then paying the lawyers and...
It's a lot of effort to go through, isn't it? He must have had quite a hefty medical bill.
Now he has an even bigger bill because he's just paid...
Yeah, because now he's got the bills for the lawyers as well, yeah.
So stupid. But it didn't... This case, let's say, hasn't ended just yet. Because... What? Couple of months later, a musical was put into the works, and is staged in London. Is now going to be staged in London, reenacting the events of the trial.
Are you serious?
Yep. So they're going to do a musical.
There's a musical based on Terry crashing into the back of...
Yeah. So very random. This is why I think 2023 was just random.
It's a bit of a fever dream, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think anything after 2020 was a bit of a fever dream. Like, we kind of had COVID, right?
Yeah.
And the year after that, it kind of just got progressively worse and worse. In 2023, it just sort of became like this weird fever dream, apocalyptic kind of year. Like, you know, you hear about these things in the news about these volcanoes exploding, which has put us into like a 5-year-long winter or whatever, and like...
Where?
Wars going on. Did you not hear about the volcano in Italy, near where I went recently? I went to Naples recently. It's only like, I think it's like 20 kilometers away from Naples, which is where like near Mount Vesuvius.
Yes.
There's a volcano that's been very active recently, and scientists predict that it's very likely it could erupt. And if it does erupt, there'd be so much ash from the volcano that it would put us into a global winter. So for like 3 to 5 years, something like that.
Is that the thing? Is that why everyone's saying they believe the world's going to end in 2029? Is it because of this volcano?
No, I think there's lots of like years where people think the world's going to end, and that's usually because of something written from the past. I mean, it's like the Bible. You know?
Wasn't
people just...
Do
Someone
remember?
writes something down like a few hundred years ago, and everyone still believes it now. And
No, but I remember 2012. There was massive hype. Like I
Yeah,
say
yeah.
hype because they thought the world was going to end.
that was because the calendar, like there was a certain calendar. I can't give any detail, so if the audience are sitting here going, "You're an idiot," then apologies. But there was a calendar made by someone, which basically the year only went to 2012. So everyone was like, "Yes, the world is going to end in 2012," because that's all the calendar went up to.
yeah.
Why did it only go to 2012? I don't know. It's just what they believed however many hundreds of years ago, and people still believed it. But yeah. There was also a movie about it.
Exactly, that's what I was going to say. What made, I think, why it was so popular is because people were hyping up the date to
Yeah.
make the movie.
Yeah, that's true. I
And
guess.
so it was, I think it was some movie stunt to make the film do better in the box office.
I mean, maybe that was part of it as well. Yeah.
But it didn't end, I don't think.
No,
I was still
I
here.
think we're still alive.
Yeah. Maybe we got sadder after 2012.
Yeah.
But
Although the music was pretty good.
I think the music in
Still had good
2012
music.
was really good.
Yeah.
And then 2013, different kind of music. So maybe, yeah.
No, we still had good tunes going into 2016, I think. I think 2016 is sort of where it started to... Maybe that's because I started making music.
Holy crap. Yeah, that's the link.
I've literally ruined music. Sorry, guys. Anyway.
Check him out on Spotify.
Elsham on Spotify, go check it out.
If you want to listen to music that
Link down below.
hurts your ears.
Oi!
And then, going back onto 2023,
Yes,
I think we
sorry.
got a bit sidetracked.
we did, yeah. Go on.
We kind of had a weird summer where it was Elon Musk versus Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh, their fight.
Yes, the fight, supposed fight. So if you need context, I don't think anyone does, to be honest. But in case you do, it pretty much started when Mark was about to release Threads. What's on his, and it was pretty much made to challenge Twitter.
Yeah.
As a response to the reports about Threads that Elon had heard,
Yeah.
he tweeted, "I'm up for a cage match if he is lol." I think he felt maybe a bit insecure about himself, and
Yeah, I think maybe... Yeah, I guess they had two very rivaling social media apps, and so the only way to settle that, of course, is a cage fight.
apparently, because then Mark Zuckerberg replied on Instagram saying, "Send me the location." I think it just sounds like two really insecure dudes who don't know how to solve an issue other than by having a fight.
Yeah,
And
but they never did it.
no,
So they didn't even solve the issue, really.
they never did it.
They
But
just hyped it up.
it got so popular, this idea of a fight
Yeah.
could happen, that even the Italian culture minister was in discussions with both of them,
my
asking
God.
if the fight could be hosted in a historic location in Italy.
No way.
Yep.
That's cool.
But while these discussions were happening, Elon Musk was saying he had shoulder problems and that he needs surgery. And
Oh, dear.
Zuckerberg decided that his fellow billionaire was not being sincere and pulled the fight in August. This is what he said
PR
to
stunt.
respond to the show. He said, "I think we can all agree Elon isn't serious and it's time to move on."
Elon not being serious. Well, that's a first. Who would have thought? Shut up.
There's so much in 2023 where people have faked this kind of stuff, where there's a fight or it's a movie or viral video and it's just there
Yeah.
to get views and
Just
to hype
PR.
up their own
Yeah.
apps and stuff. I don't think I would have actually watched it, to be honest.
I would.
You would have
I
paid to
wouldn't
watch
pay
it.
to watch it, though. But I'd want to watch it out of curiosity.
We'll just see.
Because okay, right. When you look at both of them, you don't think, yes, that's a man that can fight. It would be like watching two kind of like lanky teenagers kind of go at it, and like, you know, I think it'd just be funny.
I think what would have happened is it would have been really overprotective in terms of lots of safety gear, really soft gloves.
They'd have so much padding. They'd just be like,
it'd be like those Minecraft characters with the padding. They're all just brick looking.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have been fun to watch because of it. I wouldn't have been.
But then I feel like Elon Musk would come with like some fancy gadgets or something. He'd be like,
with fancy gadgets. I don't think that's in the rules.
He'd have like a glove that just fucking like.
Or he
like shoots out his hand or something.
Where he gets SpaceX.
yeah.
Just shoots. I'm thinking they wanted to have a cage match, not a boxing match. A cage match, like WWE.
My question is, who would it be sponsored by?
I don't know.
Well, because it's not. I'm assuming it wouldn't be able to be sponsored by like Meta or
no. Unless they have
Tesla
sponsorships on their own clothes.
Yeah, so they can have sponsorships on their own clothes, but you know how usually like you have a big event, it's like this event is sponsored by.
I'm sure it would have got loads of sponsors because it would have been such a big event. But the thing that draws you in is the fact they wanted a cage match. That's like all I'm picturing right now is the original Spider-Man trilogy.
Yeah.
And Peter Parker on the cage walls.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that's either Elon Musk or it's like I'm hiding, trying to not get fun. Why is it not just a boxing match? Why did it have to be cage? It's just,
don't know.
Everything about it just seemed fake, and turns out maybe it was.
Yeah.
So those are my favourite moments of 2023 anyway, in the mainstream. But
yeah,
I think probably, who do you think probably not lucked out the best, but did the best in 2023 in terms of celebrity status, or where they were a bit more successful because of 2023, where they had a big peak? Because I can think of one person, maybe. I think Taylor Swift has probably had a really good 2023.
She had one of the biggest, or the biggest, like selling tour like in history or something, didn't she?
Yeah.
She made like over $1 billion on tour.
It's insane.
That is crazy.
But you thought she was, pretty famous before, doing really well, and then she goes out and does this.
Fair play to her.
Yeah, pick her up.
I mean, bloody hell, over $1 billion on just a tour is just insane. I mean, she made enough that she could literally like have an impact on the economy, like the local economy of a city. Like that's insane to me. Like how an artist can do a tour, and when she visits a city, she can literally have like an economic impact on that area. Yeah. It's just insane. Like the amount of money she was bringing in is just incomprehensible. Like,
and you think it couldn't get any bigger from there?
No,
but it did. Because she is now considered to be in America's biggest power couple.
What?
Out there, yeah. So I
don't know much about Taylor Swift, so you have to explain.
I'm a huge fan.
I know you are, yeah. You're always listening to Taylor Swift.
It hits me.
I always hear you in the shower, just singing away.
Got to shake it off. Got to shake the water off. Get dry. That's so bad. So yes, she is. Oh God, you got to forgive me. I might forget the guy's name, but she's in a couple with a football star called Dan Healy.
Right.
I didn't know anything about him, unfortunately. I don't follow American football.
Was he nice?
I don't know. From what I've seen, he's all right.
So.
But people can be quite arseholey.
Yeah.
Not in the public light.
Although the good thing is that if they do break up, then they'll probably have a song written about him. So he's probably set for life anyway.
Yeah. And I suppose
pretty cool flex, isn't it? Yeah. You know that song? No. Yeah. That's about me.
I was thinking in terms of about money, maybe. He might appreciate all the sponsorships he might be getting because of it. I don't think he's going to brag about being in a song that is about him.
Well, if I think if I broke up with a celebrity and they wrote a song about me, I'd be like, it's pretty cool. I don't care how bad the song is.
It's like, you're a prick, Harry Elsham. He lives here.
Like that song, yeah, that's me. Yeah.
He lives at this location. He's nuts.
What the hell?
And you'd enjoy it.
Maybe not if they started making some like pretty serious allegations, and I'd probably be a bit
sometimes maybe she doesn't do serious allegations, but there's a couple of hidden metaphors.
Yeah, maybe
in
not
the
quite
song.
as literal as that.
Yeah, she doesn't call anyone a nonce. So now I think we've covered my favourite bits of 2023. I believe we should talk about our own 2023s and just discuss how we think it went.
Okay.
Yeah, so Harry, how did your 2023 go?
You know what? I think it went quite well. I don't want to be like talking too much about myself because I'll probably bore everyone. But you know, I mean, for anyone that doesn't know, I make music. I quite enjoy that. I produce a lot of music, and I'd say I've achieved quite a lot with that in terms of just the progress I've made. So, loving that. I've also been running a YouTube channel called Car Culture, and we've also been making a lot of progress to that, especially in more like recent months. Been releasing a lot of videos, so yeah, just something else I'm proud of. Just little things. And then I've also been very lucky to work on some pretty big events with my work outside of YouTube and music because they don't pay me. Got to work on Love Island. That was very interesting, which I'm sure in a future podcast we'll maybe hear some more about that. But I did the sound for Love Island, and it was a very interesting job. You get to hear a lot of very interesting things, and you see all the behind the scenes, and it's quite a cool thing to have to work on. Yeah,
from what you've told me, there are some interesting stories.
Yes. Yeah, and you get a very rare insight into the, the TV industry, and also a rare insight on the people that are now very famous. Like I see so many people doing podcasts and interviews and things like on TikTok, like clips of it, and I'm like, this is so strange. Like I've talked to this person.
They sound nothing like they do now.
No, but like they're portrayed in a very different way on TV and things like that. So it's really interesting to see like how someone's kind of developed from being this person that like was chucked in this villa, and I wouldn't say had no idea what they're getting into, but they seem pretty almost innocent, and then they kind of go on Love Island and their whole life changes, and just seeing that transition from a normal person that works a normal job to like this celebrity it's interesting.
Yeah, it's really cool.
What else has happened this year? I've been lucky enough to just travel to a few places, both work and also just personal. I was in Italy a couple months ago with Bailey, who I run Car Culture with. That was really cool, just reviewing cars, travelling around a little bit. But yeah, in general, I'd say a pretty successful year, just working on myself, working on my hobbies and doing interesting things.
You missed out on one big thing.
No, getting onto it. And now, starting this podcast and moving in with you.
Yeah! The highlight of your 2023.
Yeah, I've known you for 10 years, and now we've decided, you know what? We have so many conversations that we'll just record them all and give you viewers the pleasure of
viewing our boring conversations.
Yeah, but you seem to like it apparently. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what about you? Have you?
Well, mine's not as.
Do you have any
eventful.
achievements?
No, not
Go
really.
on.
Well, mine's not been as eventful as yours in terms of I don't do Love Island and I don't travel that much, but I started off 2023 in New Zealand.
That's cool.
Where I took my love for Farming Simulator, the game, a bit too literally, and I decided to be a farmer for a living in New Zealand.
You do a lot of strange, like random things, but that is probably one of the things where I remember, because we didn't talk much, right, during like uni and stuff, and then you said that you're going to New Zealand, and out of nowhere, I just see on your like socials, you just driving a tractor, and I was like, what the hell? Like,
yeah.
Where did you just start driving a tractor?
The job interview was very funny. I probably should talk about it on this part. I think it's a good story for another time.
Yeah.
But pretty much all I used was my job experience was farming simulator. I somehow got it.
Oh my God.
But no,
So
it was actually quite fun. It was
That's really cool.
very long hours, but I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it.
I guess the long hours are compensated with the fun you were having, like
And
it's a
the
cool,
money.
it's a really interesting, and the money. But it's a cool job to do. And
It
like,
was, yeah.
It's a really cool experience. I think
It's
I'd love
something-
to do something like that.
It's something maybe I won't do again in the future, but
But it's cool to
I
say you've
enjoyed
done
it. Yeah, I really did enjoy
Yeah.
it. And then I took a couple of months off just to travel.
Yep,
Went to Australia for a little bit.
nice.
And then I came back and realised how difficult it is to get a job in the UK.
Yep.
So, yes, I've been pretty much doing a job search from then on.
Yep.
And then I had a bit of a patchy bit, but we won't talk
Yeah,
about
we don't need to get into detail
No,
about
no,
that.
it's just relationships. And then in July, I started my weight loss journey. And so...
I've been very impressed with that.
No, it's nothing.
Go on.
Okay, so I don't like talking about myself like this. This is probably something I should get used to, but
Yeah.
I started in July, and I said, you know what, I need to distract myself from all the issues going on, and
Yeah.
I just need to do something good for myself. So I decided to get a PT and just work on my body. And
You've been killing it, man. Like, from what you've told me, you've been killing it. How much have you lost?
I think I've lost 3.5 stone. I think.
And that was within the space of what, like 3-4 months?
So it's around 22 kilograms. Yeah, in 3 months.
That's insane.
A suitcase is how I picture it.
Yeah, like a full suitcase that you take on holiday,
Of weight, yeah.
which is a huge amount of weight to lose.
Thank you.
Like, you should be very proud of yourself.
That's the only thing I've got. No, it's actually crazy how limiting it is being so overweight. You don't think it while you are
I guess you
overweight.
don't realise
so-
until you then lost it and you're like, wow.
Oh yeah, but I can do more stuff now. Whether it's even, I can go out in public without feeling a bit not as self-conscious. I can.
Plane tickets are cheaper.
Exactly. I don't have to buy three. I don't have to buy a row of seats now because my legs just stretch across the aisle. It's like a gate. Let the trolley pass. It's not like that anymore. I actually can purchase just 2 seats.
Nah, don't be silly. You can fit into just one.
I haven't tried. Maybe I could fit in the suitcase that I lost.
Maybe, yeah.
Yes,
there you go.
maybe. That'd be free then. I only have to pay for the baggage. Anyway, so I can run a little bit longer, which is good.
Yeah.
And I can fit in my old clothes.
Yeah, I mean, we've been going to gym together quite a bit, and I've noticed that, like, you are much stronger than me. Okay, right. No, seriously, when we started out, right, we started going to gym together in what, like, sort of
July.
August? No, it was like...
That's when I started.
Yeah, but I joined a bit later on because I was away for a bit.
Oh, okay.
So I joined you like mid-August sort of time, and I say we were pretty evenly matched, and sometimes I was a little bit like stronger than you for things, but now you're way ahead of me because you've been going crazy at it.
That's the only thing I can really do at the moment that with how there's not much going on in terms of jobs and stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm happy where I'm working now, but I'm waiting for next year for my graduate apprenticeships to start opening up. But yeah, the gym's pretty much, and my diet, like, it's just been gym and focusing on that awful diet. But it's working, and I think if it wasn't working, it'd be hard. Just fish and a rice cake.
Fish and rice cake.
That's all I eat. I eat fish at 8 and a fish and a rice cake at 10.
If you don't get the reference, don't worry about it. That's not actually what he eats.
No, that is not what I eat. But I don't even remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, with the diet, that's been hard. I think if I wasn't losing the weight, it'd be really hard to stay motivated.
Yeah.
But no, I'm seeing progress. I'm feeling progress.
Good.
And I like it. And now we've got the podcast. I'm learning how to edit and I guess film in uncomfortable situations.
Yeah, like I guess that's something that almost applies to both of us at the moment. Is like, for me, I wanted to become a bit more kind of comfortable in front of the camera because of like, especially my music and stuff. Like I feel like I really need to like push myself with socials and stuff, and like being comfortable in front of the camera is really important for me at the moment. Like trying to get used to that. And for you, you have your own reasons. If you want to talk about that, you can. If not, don't worry about it. Like,
you sound like a therapist.
I am your therapist.
I do pay him to listen to my problems.
Yeah.
I don't worry. He charity work.
Charity.
He does a lot of charity. We're not going to do that again. But no, I don't know. I think it's more because I am quite an awkward person to talk to until you get to know me. Yeah. And especially, although like obviously I would want a different job right at the moment, I'm also kind of happy with it at the same time because before I even started, I was so weird to talk to. I'd say weird, just I was quite shy and I wouldn't really know how to communicate to strangers without being autistic.
Yeah, I mean, because the thing is, right, I've known you for ages, and like with me, you've always been very comfortable and normal with me, and like we're also a bit kind of loopy sometimes. No, like as in, okay, when we're together, right?
That's awful.
We're a little bit like on the spectrum, right? And like when we're together, like, so us being weird together and a bit awkward is kind of normal for us, so it doesn't feel awkward. But in social situations with random people, then like, you know, sometimes you can get a bit awkward. I mean, I can get like that as well. But, you know, I think this podcast definitely helps, like seeing yourself from a third person perspective. Yeah. Helps a lot to like see how you interact with people and like just getting comfortable, like you say, just
exactly
in social situations.
I don't want to necessarily say that I rely on like people's approval and like support to see how I act and but the last episode when you guys just all the support you gave, I don't know, it made me feel a bit better about I am okay to talk to, I guess. Yeah. But even working at the bar, my social skills have just improved so much. Yeah. So I can now just talk to strangers. I can actually have small talk properly instead of talking about how I love orange juice Tesco cartons. I can now say
it's definitely an improvement.
I can now say, oh, how's your evening going? Where have you been? Instead of the Tesco juice cartons. Yeah,
that's good.
It is good. So I would say overall 2023, although it's been a bit patchy and a bit tricky, I've improved myself a lot.
Moving forward. Yeah. Happy with your progress.
I am happy with my progress. Good. And are you happy with your progress?
Yeah.
Because you've had a successful... He's kind of keeping it down low with his music because he's got a ton of total streams. I will not say.
Thank you, Matthew. That's very kind of you.
Let's just say it's over the 300,000 mark.
Yeah.
That's impressive, Harry.
I've been very happy with it. I think this year it's been like 350,000 streams.
Jesus.
And next year I'm aiming for basically double that. I'm aiming for like 750,000 across that year. Yeah. Which is going to be really difficult because that's like a lot.
Yeah, that's...
to achieve independently is really difficult. And that's why I'm trying to get good with being in front of a camera.
Yeah.
Because then I can start to kind of put myself out there a bit more on like social media, like TikTok and things. And, I'm hoping that being more comfortable with social media will, as a consequence, grow my music. So,
how are you going to get to that target? Have you got any
podcasts?
Just podcasts and more music?
Oh no! I mean, so getting more comfortable in front of the camera, podcasts, and also the YouTube channel, like the car culture stuff that I do. Like, I've been doing a lot more camera work for that, like being in front of the camera, and that's just really been helping me get comfortable, just being myself in front of a camera. And just making more music, pushing myself a bit, and getting out my comfort zone. Really, and we'll see what happens. So check in next year and we'll see if I actually achieve that or not.
And I think now you don't want to hear any more about us. I think we've spoken way too much about us, and we're not very interesting now you've discovered. So I think we won't dive into the fact that we're going out tonight. It's New Year's Eve at the moment.
Yep.
And we're planning on going out to a party.
Yeah.
In Lyon. But I think we should read other people's not 2023 stories, but their New Year's Eve party stories.
I'd like to hear that, yeah.
And hopefully we don't have as bad of a New Year's Eve party as these guys did.
Yes, I agree.
So here's the first Reddit story.
Okay.
So a few years ago, I had New Year's Eve at a house party where everyone, for some reason, was a Swedish redneck.
Right.
Yeah. I eventually pass out on a sofa just a few hours later, wake up, and decide to head home.
Okay.
On my way out of this enormous house, I open a random door to find two redneck men in their early 20s standing up and pissing on each other in a bedroom.
Oh my God.
I stood there for a second before I realized what the fuck I was watching and decided that I didn't want to participate.
Funny that.
Yeah. Maybe you would. No?
Absolutely not.
Okay. And I decided I didn't want to participate and continued my search for the entrance. I opened the next door thinking that I should use the bathroom before I start walking the long way home. And I come to find some unknown guy lying on the floor naked with a giant turd. I mean seriously large. The largest I've ever seen lying beside him on the tile floor.
This sounds like a wild party.
I know.
What the hell
I hope
happened?
this happens to us.
No, absolutely not. No.
I quickly shut the door and head to the staircase, where I found this random girl I talked to earlier that evening vomiting like a fountain on the top of the stairs, creating quite a large puke stream all the way to the bottom floor.
No.
I just don't care at this point and just quickly avoid her deluge and head down to the bottom floor, where I, for some reason, open one of those built-in closets.
Oh, God.
That I made a stupid...
This man needs to stop opening doors.
He does. This house sounds like a circus. One of those clown houses. Yeah. There's some random event behind every door you open.
Yeah.
You pay like £5 at the fairground to enter. I used to love those.
Go on.
I opened the built-in closet door.
Yeah.
And instead of it being a bathroom, I instead find another guy taking a crap in the damn closet.
Why does no one know how to use a toilet in this house?
Why is everyone using
the only
everything
toilet
but
available
a toilet?
has a guy in there, but he missed a toilet.
Exactly. So, no, there's a guy using his friend as a toilet.
Yeah.
There's a guy using the tile floor as a toilet.
Yeah.
There's a guy using a closet as a toilet.
Yeah.
The guy using the closet as a toilet gets really angry at him for intruding and says, you should at least knock before opening a bathroom door.
Did someone put laxatives in everyone's drink at this party? Why is everyone going for a number two?
That'd be a wild party. Now I think I'm dreaming. This is the most stupid thing ever. Why the fuck is everyone shitting and pissing everywhere?
Thank you.
I finally get out of the house where I find my friend taking a swim in their pond.
Okay, I mean, it's more civilized than everything else, to be honest.
Exactly. If he's taking a piss in the pond, that's all right, I guess.
Yeah.
Not for the frogs.
No.
But for the homeowners. But I suppose if there's already this amount of piss and shit in the home, I don't think this guy's going to...
I don't think you're going to worry about the pond, are you, at that point?
But instead of... so the guy's taking a swim in the pond.
Yeah.
He then gets out to join the main guy to get some McDonald's.
Oh, okay.
And that's where it ends.
He's gone for a swim. Get some food.
Exactly. So he's pretty much just telling us his evening on New Year's Eve.
This sounds like some sort of really messed up fever dream.
That's what he thought as well.
He just kept opening doors and just seeing all this weird stuff.
It sounds like a fairground ride, yeah.
I feel so sorry for the homeowners. Imagine getting back and just seeing that mess.
Yeah, maybe they were the ones that put the laxatives in the drinks.
I'd assume not.
Maybe. Might be a
That
chance.
is a disgusting story, though.
So our advice: therapy.
Therapy.
No, honestly, therapy. I think
you need
homeowner
therapy.
will definitely need therapy.
Yeah.
This guy will need therapy, and the other guy's pissing and shitting. Just take it easy for the next year.
It's crazy that the guy swimming in the pond was the most normal person there.
Yeah. Unless he was saying stuff like ribbit, ribbit, while swimming through the pond, and he had like a green frog costume.
But
we don't know. He doesn't
still be
display.
more sane.
It's supposed to be more normal. Yeah.
Anyway, I've got some short stories. So, all right, this one again. They're just short ones. So, friend's wife slipped off the back of the hot tub and got wedged between the hot tub and the house. Almost had to call the fire department to get her out. She was so embarrassed, she tore her ACL in an attempt to get herself out. For those who don't know, the ACL is,
Oh my God.
I think it's a ligament or like muscle in your knee.
Yeah.
So lots of pain, wouldn't be able to walk afterwards. And I just imagine her kind of like stuck like that. Like in that sort of
So
shape.
how did she get wedged in? Did the hot tub move when she was in the
No,
gap?
so she was sitting on the side of the hot tub, and I assume it's a bit wet, so it's quite slippery.
Yeah.
And she's literally just fallen back because she's drunk a lot, and gotten herself wedged in between. And no one could just get her out. I guess they were struggling, and she ended up tearing a muscle. Then underneath it says update additional info.
Right.
An important detail that was left out was that it was -10 out that night, so we had to keep pouring warm hot tub water on her so she didn't freeze to death. So this woman is stuck there in agonizing pain because she just tore like a ligament in her knee. She's so embarrassed, she's just there like whatever, and she's probably just in like a bikini, so people are just it's like she's a beached whale. They're just bucketing water on her.
Do you
to
think
keep her
also they
alive.
might think, there might be enough water there to slip out of the hole? No.
That is an
How do you
awful story.
get yourself in that situation in terms of how do you get so far wedged in that you can't get out? Because
Don't question it till you've tried. I mean, once you've had enough alcohol, you're sitting on the side of a hot tub. The hot tub clearly poorly placed next to the house.
yeah, why was it up against the wall?
Yeah, because it's like put up against the wall, but not properly. So it's like there's still enough gap for someone to get stuck down there.
Let's go in the hot tub at -10.
That'd be great. I'd love to do that.
You'd be freezing.
Mate,
you have a
hot
really
tub-
small penis.
Hot tubs. You might. Hot tub. Hot tubs in the winter, in the cold, is the best. And also
Yeah.
in the rain. Rainstorms in a hot tub.
Have you done
are
it
great.
before?
Yes. It's lovely. It's so refreshing.
And you didn't invite me.
Sorry. But yeah, I thought that was quite a funny story.
Yeah.
Have you got any more?
No.
That's your one story.
Yeah.
All right, so I got another short one here. So this one is very short. It's like 2 sentences.
Yeah.
I leaned in to kiss a hot stranger at the strike of midnight, and surprisingly, she went for it. But she puked in my mouth, all over my face. Projectile puke, to be accurate. Was awful. Fuck New Year's.
Yeah, that is a bit traumatizing.
Yeah,
that's probably
that's
worse
awful.
than the hot tub situation.
Yeah.
Maybe, okay, just maybe what might, I know it's going to sound crazy,
Yeah.
but some people have this awful stuff happen to them.
Yeah.
And then it kind of becomes a kink. Do you think?
No.
No? Okay, moving on.
I think he went to therapy.
Yeah, he didn't go to therapy, but he should have.
Yeah.
And,
That is
no, that's actually really sad because it's probably stopped him from having a good time on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, that would definitely stop me from having a good time if someone did that to me.
Yeah,
I
but
think.
he's going to think about that every year.
Yeah. I'd cry.
All right, that's a bit too far. You'd cry. It's not that.
So. Right, so let's move on to the game show. We did very different tones there. I was like, the game show, and you're like, the game show.
Should we do one in the middle?
Okay.
The game show.
show.
That was still different.
That was so depressing. Anyway, so I've got some quotes from Boris Johnson and Jeremy Clarkson. You have to try and guess who said the quote, okay?
Right. Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, and Jeremy Clarkson.
Well, old Prime Minister.
Old Prime Minister, yes. And Jeremy Clarkson, old top Gear Presenter.
Yes. So, and if you can guess it right, you get a point. I've got 8 quotes here in total, okay?
Oh, God, this is going to be so tricky. Yeah.
Right. Some of them are really obvious. I'll start with an obvious one. I have as much of a chance of becoming Prime Minister as of being decapitated by a frisbee or finding Elvis.
Right. This is Jeremy Clarkson.
No.
Oh, that's obvious.
It was Boris.
Well, that just sounds so... You know how Jeremy Clarkson does those exaggerated...
Yep, I know. And that's why it's a good quote.
You just said it was obvious. You lied.
Yeah, because he literally says, as much of a chance of becoming Prime Minister.
Yeah, but they both could have said that.
Well, there you go. That's the point in the game show, Matthew. All right, next one. The leader of the opposition has more flip-flops than Bournemouth Beach.
That's
I like that.
Let's go Boris.
Yes.
Yes. Because I don't think Jeremy Clarkson would talk about opposition in any context.
Yeah. True.
God, we're shooting through these.
We are. I have produced larger and more attractive bogies than this.
Okay, I've heard this one before.
Okay.
But what I think I know the context as well. I think this was when he was reviewing a car. I think it was the Citroen. It was James May's car. I think it was a Citroen or a Renault. And I think it's Jeremy Clarkson because of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Is that the right context?
Yeah. I was just checking the context for you, and you are correct.
Yeah, let's get in there.
All right. Next one. I'm stuck on a porn set.
Right. See, it's so short that it could sound like Boris, but I think Boris would have worded it differently because he's got a strange way of words. So, say it again.
I'm stuck on a porn set.
I'm stuck on a porn. No, it's got to be Jeremy Clarkson. What is the context for that?
I'll tell you if you. So is that your final answer?
I think it's Jeremy Clarkson.
You are correct.
Okay.
So the context is when they did an episode, I forgot which country it was in, but they had, you might remember, it was one of their specials. They had like where was it? Oh, it was in Morocco. Well, they had like the cows that were on like the weighing scales.
Yes, I do remember that, yeah.
And like one of them started having intercourse with the other, and Jeremy then shouts, I'm stuck on a porn set.
Yes.
But yeah, you got that one correct. Okay.
That's such a random metaphor to use for the episode. I'm pretty sure the episode was like convertibles in Morocco or something. It wasn't convertibles. I just remember an MX-5 being there, and they raced around the
sounds about
Games of Thrones movie set.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I just remember the scene where they had a cow on the big weighing scales and a car on the other thing, and then
and they had to make it balance out.
Yeah. Right, next one. You're doing quite well. My policy on cake is pro having it and pro eating it.
Okay, this is obvious because of him using the word policy. So it has to be Boris. But there's no context behind the Boris ones, although it's just
No, there's no context.
Shame. I'm sure everyone would have loved
the one thing I object to in this whole farrago of nonsense is that I love John Lewis.
Oh my God, that's tricky. Go on, you have to say it again.
The one thing I object to in this whole farrago of nonsense is that I love John Lewis.
Oh, crap. Is it Boris?
Yep.
Yes! I've only got like one wrong.
Good at this. All right. Next one. I'm not a fan of the politically correct brigade. If something's worth doing, it's worth offending someone.
Right, that's definitely Jeremey Clarkson, because that is so outlandish.
Yeah, I shouldn't have included the offending bit, should I?
Is there any context for that one?
No.
Do you not have... What the... Why don't you have any context for
Well,
any
some
of
of them I do, but some of them I don't.
Well, the game show is going to be like 5 minutes.
It's fine.
That's fine. God.
All right, next one.
Yeah.
You know, somebody actually complimented my driving today. They left a little note on the windscreen. It said, "Parking fine."
That's a good joke.
It's good, isn't it?
This is a Christmas cracker joke you hear.
It does sound like a Christmas cracker joke, doesn't it?
Parking fine. That's... Because I'm going to have to go for the obvious. I'm going to have to go Jeremey Clarkson because it involves driving. But that makes me want to say my dad joke.
Correct. Go on.
Should I say it?
Go on. Bless
Okay.
the audience with your dad joke.
So, what's the difference between jelly and jam?
What's the difference between jelly and jam?
You can't jelly a clown into a small car. But it's actually quite funny.
Well, we'll insert the audience laughter so people
Just
think
pretend he found it. I've told him like 5 times.
Yeah, I've heard it quite a few.
But it's my favourite one.
You know what? The first time I heard it, I did laugh. I will admit. So there you go. It was funny.
And the other 4 times he just chuckled.
Yeah. Anyway, you got 7 out of 8 on that game.
That was it.
Yeah, I'm quite impressed. That was it. It was like 10 minutes.
This is like the speed show.
the speed game show.
Speed game show. The quickest game show in the world.
On that note, well done, Matthew. You've done very well.
And thank you, Harry, for getting the quotes.
You're welcome.
So it meant I didn't have to do anything for that.
I'm looking forward to our next game show, the next episode, but you'll find that out then. Won't spoil it.
It is a good one.
It is a good one. I'm quite excited.
It will be longer than this one.
Yes.
So we apologise for that.
Anyway, well, that pretty much sums up today's episode of a very normal podcast.
It's been very normal.
It has. You know
It
what?
has.
It's starting to feel a lot more natural to both of us, I think. And yeah, I'm looking forward to doing some more.
Yeah, it's gone a lot smoother than the last one did.
Yeah.
Because maybe we will release the bloopers from the last one, but there were a lot because I kept getting my words muddled, and
That's right.
Harry was just boring.
Wow, okay. Well, on that note, we'll see you in the next episode. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. If you've got any video recommendations you want us to do, any stories anonymously, we can read them out.
Yeah.
And
Link
also
in the
just
description.
check our social medias down below.
Yeah. We've recently started our TikTok.
We have. It's
been doing quite well.
We haven't put that in the link though. So when this video comes out, it will be in the link.
You'll see it.
But that's something we've got to do.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
We're not doing that again. We're not doing that. This is the end.